All right, everyone, welcome back. I hope you're having a fantastic morning here with us on Lifeline for Linear. My name is Jaidlyn, and I'm going to be your host for this next run. So speaking of our next run, we are ready. Nick is here to bring us through the extreme of Metal Gear Solid 3. Snake Eater. Nick, it's all you.
Thank you very much. Hello, I am NickRPGreen. I've been running the Metal Gear series for a little over 4 years, speedrunning properly for a little over 4 years. And you've probably seen me at other marathons and stuff. I was at SGDQ 2023, which is amazing. It's an absolute honor to be invited along to help raise some money for Linear. I'm not alone. I have brought with me the happiest dude I could find.
Hello, it is I, OGHappyDude, and the only other time that I have actually seen Nick run Snake Eater was when I was on the couch for him for disaster relief. We're gonna have fun with this.
And you've never ran the category yourself?
The only thing that I have touched Metal Gear wise was MGS1, and I have not completed a run yet.
It's fine. It's fine.
It's fine. It's going to be fine.
It's fine. You've watched it once. It'll be good.
Yeah, that's good enough, right? Do I recall it mostly everything? No, not really.
Alrighty. So this is any percent European Extreme. European Extreme is the hardest difficulty. It's named European Extreme because when the game actually started with MGS2. When the game first came out in Japan and America, it didn't have the hardest difficulty. And then later the PAL region, so Europe, got the game as well. And by that point, they'd made some tweaks, fixed some bugs, also added in the European Extreme difficulty. They did the same thing when it came to Metal Gear Solid 3. It's very difficult. Loads of stuff, animal health is minimal, boss health is really high, etc. But the main crux of the run is it is a game over immediately if I am spotted. So at any point, if a guard spots me, game over, restart the room. It will very likely happen, but we obviously try and minimize it as much as we can. Okay, so are we ready to get this run started? Yeah. Let's do this in 3, 2, 1, go! Take it away, David Hayter.
After the end of World War II, the world was split into two, East and West. This marked the beginning of the era called the Cold War.
Thanks, David. Right.
Appreciate you.
So that is the introduction we're getting. We are going to be skipping through cutscenes and codec calls like nobody's business. So we are off. So we start off in the Russian jungle. We've been sent in to rescue a defector called Sokolov. Sokolov is a Russian scientist who's defected to the US. He's been kidnapped by a Russian splinter group, which is being controlled by a man named Colonel Volgin. And we're just here to rescue him. That's it. We're just going to go to Razvet, pick him up, and bring him back. Mission done. Should be plain sailing. We meet our support team. That's the boss. That's Major Zero. That's the boss. That's Major Zero. Very, very quick introductions. We're going to say bye-bye to the Keratons. No Keratons this run. But that's fine. We're gonna blast through this game instead. Be a lot of fun. So out here in the jungles of Russia, we have to be careful of wildlife. Bugs, animals, big things like big giant crocodiles. We're just going to run through the crocodiles. They're a bit slow. You can just run through those. Swamps are quite nasty. You can drown in the swamp as well. So we're just going to keep running through the jungle and onto the next room, which is where we're going to come across the deadliest animal of them all. The humans. We're now going to have to deal with the Russian group. So a couple of tricks we can do in here. The first one we're going to do is called a quick headshot, which I failed at. So I'm going to quickly take him out. Quick headshot. If you stand up on your tiptoes after immediately aiming at a guard, you should immediately headshot them, which is normally great. These next two guards were doing what's called a tranq roll. If you tranquilize a guard anywhere on their body, it will take a while for that tranquilizer dart to put them to sleep. But if you roll into a guard that you've already tranquilized, like this guard here, it'll instantly put him to sleep. There we go. I'm going to try and do 2 quick headshots on these two. That's 1. There we go, 2. Perfect. And now to get around this next guard, I'm going to do a shot and roll to distract him. And now this guard is going to be so focused on his radio, completely ignores the fact that I've just run around behind him. He can hear my footsteps, but he's now more focused on his radio than he is on the sounds around him. This is called priority. We'll actually see a much better use of it later in the game. Another quick headshot on that guy. We're going to do 2 tranq shots on a guy who's up there. 1, 2. I'm going to just make sure I go around here so that guy over there doesn't spot me. And I've got to do a very quick roll onto this next guy to make sure he doesn't spot me in time. There we go. Lovely. And that's it. We've reached Sokolov. Sokolov's behind this door. We're going to grab him. We're going to take him back to base, and everything's going to be fancy and yeah, great. Absolutely. There was a cutscene where we got ambushed by the Ocelot unit. Snake had to take them all out, but Sokolov got captured again, and now we're going to go and chase after him. It's fine. He'll be in the next room. We'll just go grab him, and then that'll be done.
I really wanted to break in just for a second. I wanted to welcome our huge raid that we just got. Ooh. So hello, raiders. Thank you so much. Welcome to Lifeline for Linear. We're a mutual made airathon raising money for our fellow speedrunner LinearC. And right now we are doing Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater European Extreme with Nick. Thanks so much for joining us.
That was fast. Unfortunately, during that cutscene that we didn't get to watch, it all went horribly wrong. The boss defected. The boss was Snake's mentor. She defected to the Soviet Union. She threw him off a bridge. They got away with Sokolov. 2 days pass, and we're going back into the same area for now Operation Snake Eater. This is the main mission. That was just the prologue. So we're now dropped in the dead of night. And our mission is still kind of the same. Rescue Sokolov. But Sokolov told us of a nuclear weapon that is being developed behind enemy lines. So we need to find out if there is a nuclear weapon, and if so, we need to find out a way to stop it and destroy it. We'll be seeing that nuclear weapon much later on.
So Metal Gear.
It's not called Metal Gear in this one.
Oh, really?
It's the only one where it's not called Metal Gear. It's kind of the prototype for Metal Gear. Right.
Oh, I forgot game logic.
One of the hardest rooms here. I've got to get past these 2 guards before they spot me. Nice. And a little trick that we're doing here. So that guard completely ignored my footsteps. And that's because I'm cooking this stun grenade. There's a little glitch. It's not in every single version of the game, but in the Master Collection, HD Collection, which is what we're playing, it does exist, where if you cook a grenade, it completely silences your footsteps to the guards. Very tight room here. I've got to roll in between these 2 trees. That wasn't quite right. This is a very precise roll here.
And just
these 2 guards.
And to just prevent any confusion, what constitutes as a room that gets reset after you get spotted or any game over is the result of the transitional loading screen, where it's the name of the new area that you're entering.
Yeah, so we call them rooms, but obviously we're outside for most of the game, so it's kind of like areas. But that was it. We got past those guards on the second time round. So that's one continue so far. It's not unheard of.
And that's the length of all of my Metal Gear knowledge.
We have got a boss fight coming up. Go on, Happy Dude. You've seen the rod. Go for it. Tell me about this boss fight.
So do we have any announcements?
Wow, you're really just gonna... Wow. It's like that. Yes, as a matter of fact, we do have announcements. There are several announcements, and so we have some new incentives that are just just released, hot off the press, if you will. We've got a new bid war for the starter for Beastie Ball. You want to choose what starter Happy uses throughout the whole run, each of their unique stats, abilities, and even hindrances. This run can change wildly, so whether it's get chick or build it, you can choose whatever Happy by 3 is about to suffer through. We also have a new target, a bonus epilogue, which is for World of Goo, not glue. Ooh, baby. If met, Satan will perform a bonus run of the epilogue levels that were skipped in the original run. And you want to see the missing content and have more puzzles with Satan, you can make it happen. And a new milestone, which is a 1,500 target goal for Frogan, which is going to be, if met, the Hellfridge will play Frogan Encore's 4 through 6 level, the Secret Lab. It traverses the most difficult lab with various electric hazards, conveyors, and factory hazards. Want to see Fridge speed through the level? Donate now. And speaking of donations, we've got $25 from Lurker Spine. No comment, but thank you so much for your donation.
Woo! So that was the Ocelot unit. The Ocelot unit is quite unique in the boss fights. Remember I said right at the start of the game that being spotted by the enemy will get me a game over. The Ocelot unit is included in that. It's the only boss where it does include it, because it's not really a boss, it's a set of guards. But it's in the boss rush mode, they are in the boss rush mode, so they are classed as a boss. But yeah, the Ocelot unit has to be done without getting spotted as well. Very particular set of moves that I did there to take them all out. And yeah, it was always nice when that goes right first try. So I'm going to grab some grenades ready for later. Swimming through this lovely bit of yellow. I've got a leech attached to me, so I'm going to cure that, because otherwise there goes my stamina for the rest of the run. We get a quick call from Eva. So we met up with Eva, who gave us all of our new guns, and she's going to kind of be our on-the-field help throughout the game, and she'll later become the love interest. Woo! Shire Pass South, another quite tight room. Make sure we get through here nice and quickly. There's some mines on the floor here, so got to make sure that I get around the mines without triggering any. Lovely. I'm going to shoot to distract a dog. That dog being distracted distracts a guard, and that gets 1 of 3 guards out of the way in the next little bit of this room. So I'm going to run to here. I'm going to equip the cardboard box, and the cardboard box is going to distract the second guard. We wait for his subtitles to disappear before going through. That tells us that he's moved around. And then if everything has lined up correctly, there's going to be 1 more dog who should be just turning around. There he is, and he walks off in the other direction as we can walk past. Wonderful. Move into Bolshaya Past Base. Very, very simple room, this one. We can ignore most of what's going on in the middle. Just run straight over to... There's 1 guard that we're going to trank roll him, and then move into the next boss fight, which is the boss fight against Ocelot. Another fight I'll be concentrating on that fight. Don't need to worry about him spotting me or anything like that. Lots of headshots and stun grenade throws. So I'm going to turn. I'm going to re-equip my Mark 22. I need to get a headshot here if the dust will clear. That looked good. Overhand stun grenade throw. I'm now going to shoot the goat over there, because that's going to distract Ocelot in a second. So apologies, that goat is dead. Oh, he's over there. Come on, headshot. There we go. And that's the Ocelot fight. Little sloppy at the end there, but we got there at the end. Do not adjust your sets. We are now in a cave at the end of the fight. Ooh, I am nowhere near the entrance to that hole. There we go. At the end of the fight, another boss unit comes along called the Pain. We're going to see him in a couple of rooms' time. And the Pain... excuse me. The Pain sort of attacks with his bees. We jump down the jump down the hole in the middle of the fight down here into the caves. It will slowly, as we go through, start to lighten up. So in the same way as when you're in a dark space, your eyes eventually get used to the light. The same thing happens in game. Over time, it will slightly brighten up so that you can see a little bit better.
I do have a quick.
I was gonna say, tell me about the pain.
Well, if memory serves me correctly, this is the old sniper.
No, this is the one with the bees.
Oh, okay.
Not
I do happen to have
bees.
No, the bees.
Not the bees.
Quick question though. If memory serves me correctly, we also have the camo system on that you can unlock through doing stuff throughout the game casually. Number one, are there any perks that you can get from equipping the certain camo? And two, are there any leaderboards that actually use those camos?
There's no specific leaderboards for using camos, but there are some perks, and we are going to use some of them later on. But first, let's get this fight. So this is the pain. I need to be getting headshots on him. The problem with this fight is the pain's head hitbox is like around his neck. You may notice I'm not really going for the top of his head. Oh, he's gone. Oh, this is. Oh, this is going a little out of hand. There we go. Okay, phase 2. Not done yet. Phase 2. So throw another grenade here. He's going to throw some really nasty bees at me, but as long as I'm in first person, they won't hit me. So quick reloading, trying to get him in the head. This is good. He'll go into that. One more grenade. We should be good here. This should be over in just a second. He's moved out of the way. I've got one more smoke grenade, so we use that instead. There we go, and that's the pain. Wonderful. Had better pain fights. Definitely had a lot worse. Always good to get that fight done in one go. All right. Into the cave section. We've got a nice long section here where we're just doing a lot of walking, but it's a very good opportunity to talk about one of the most powerful items in the game. It's an item that you'll see in many Metal Gear games, but without a shadow of a doubt, MGS3 is the king for it. And that, of course, is the cardboard box.
Yeah,
I know what you're thinking. You're thinking the cardboard box. It's not. It's just a box. And also, this is a speed run. You're not going to be hiding from enemies in it. No, we are not. But one thing you'll notice is we're going up a big hill at the moment. MGS3 was the first game in the series to introduce inclines and declines. Everything else was sort of stairs, and they introduced a slowdown mechanic for Snake when he's climbing uphill. So as he runs up a hill, he'll slow down slightly. That same animation is not present when you're wearing a cardboard box. So whenever we go up and down hills, it's faster to be in the box. The box is also fireproof, which is going to come in very handy for a boss fight later. And there's a few other little things with the box that you'll see. There's a very, very difficult trick called the box headshot as well, which we do need to do at least once in the run. So we'll see that a little bit later. We're going to come across our next boss in this next room, but we're not actually going to fight him just yet. He's called the End, and he's our old guy sniper, if you want to talk about that.
So, the End happens to be like one of the easiest bosses in the original release of the game. You could just easily set your internal console clock forward. I think it was either 3 days or a week.
A week. And
you would load the game back up and boom, he's already down and out. This one, you're if memory serves me correctly, there's a bunch of essentially the equivalent of QuickTime events to where you would have to like run up to him and kill him quickly that way. Okay, so trying to recall a run from back in October is really hard on the old noodle. So if anyone's getting any cringe out of me, I do apologize in advance.
Let's just take that guy out, just to be on the safe side. So
Nick knew what he
point
was
with
getting into, by the way. He totally knew this.
So the point behind the end is the end was actually in the room where I was on the other side of the river. And we shot some barrels close to him, which did a bunch of damage. That means when we actually start his boss fight, which isn't going to be for a little while yet, he will have less health and stamina. So very, very important. You can actually kill him there. There's another room you can go into which has a sniper rifle, and if you get a single headshot with the sniper rifle, will kill him. If you do, he's replaced in the game by the Ocelot unit. They come back, and they are slower to deal with. He, like, his fight, you kind of get a teleport at the end of the fight, which cuts out a load of time. But trying to get around them stealthily, particularly on European Extreme, trying to get around them without triggering, without getting spotted by any of them, is a lot slower than just doing the fight. You also have to go out of your way to get the sniper rifle in the first place. We don't do that either. I'm now going to head down into the lab. So the reason we're here is that we understand that there is one of the head scientists. This is his lab. We've been given a nice fancy scientist costume to get him from. Another wonderful use of the box there.
What I want to know is how on earth can the AI on the hardest difficulty not notice the awkwardness of someone wearing a medical outfit with a military bandana?
Sometimes
We don't
it's
ask
just
questions.
that easy.
No questions.
All Superman had to do was put on a pair of glasses. And that's all Snake's done.
You know what? I see the point. Hey, chat, can you donate for your favorite disguises? Your favorite simple disguises? Let me know what those are.
So we're just going to run through. The scientists do know. So I'm going to bump this scientist to sort of reset his sort of investigation. So the scientists know that we're not one of them. The guards don't care. We're just guards. But yeah, as I exit here, I'm going to need to bump this guard to reset his investigation. And then I'm out of his sight line now, so he's not investigating me anymore. Quick go through before they spot me. There we go. And we can just get straight back out again. And that's it. We've spoken to Granin. He's told us about the Shagohod, which is the big nuclear mech that I was talking about. He doesn't care about it. He already has his plans for Metal Gear ready to go. So he's already moving on. And he's also given us a key. We're going to go back to the warehouse that we were in, and there's going to be a key to another door. We can leave that way instead. So here, when you're outside, you'll notice I've got a not so fast. That's the guard seeing that a scientist is outside, and like, you should be out here, you should be inside, and give it a couple of seconds, and you would get warped back inside. The cardboard box there, really powerful again. We use to just quickly interrupt that. We quickly pop in. The guard goes, "Why is there a box here?" And then we get back out of it before they can kind of realize. Just wait for that dog to turn. There we go. That dog can be a bit of a nuisance. Going to take that guy out. A couple of shots. So yeah, the box just resets that, and then when you get back out of the box, we're out of the way. Going into our next boss fights, this isn't the end just yet. We are going to fight a dude called the Fear. You may notice there's a bit of a trend with sort of emotions. The Fear is our one cheese fight of the game. We're going to run over to this tree. We're going to use a fake death pill. So this is a mechanic that allows Snake to make it look like he's died. It's called the Fear. Here he is. To wander over to our not corpse. As he walks over, use the revival pill in Snake's tooth. Throw this stun grenade, and then just as it triggers, I'm going to come and stand here, and I've triggered this trap. Now, for some reason, in the game's code, if you... fixing a wound I had, and backpack. I now want the not that. There we go. For some reason, there's a weird perk there where if you stun the field with a stun grenade, any lethal damage that is then done to him for the next whilst he's stunned is converted to non-lethal damage. So we used a stun grenade to stun him, and then took him out with the tree traps. This is Warehouse 2. It's considered one of the hardest rooms in the game. Oh, this is why. So this is the box headshot. The box headshot is a trick where when a guard first sees Snake in a box, they will instinctively stoop to investigate. And that puts their head in exactly the right position to land a headshot. Unfortunately, I was slightly too slow and the guard above me spotted me. It's very, very precise movement. And it all has to be done very, very quickly. Third time's the charm.
Can we also talk about how hilarious it is that for three attempts in a row now, that you've managed to jump over the rail, fall about 3 floors, and then hit a guy at the very bottom, and now that's number 4.
That was not my intention. I've never done that before.
Oh, look at the run now.
I'm also swapping cameras in between. So there's 2 cameras in the game. There's like this overhead camera. There we go, gotcha. Woo. So there's this overhead camera, which is the original. I'm gonna get spotted by that guard. Oh, this room does not like me today. Oh, it does not. It does not. Just when I'm past the hardest bit. That guard's right out the way now. Oh, come on. Come on. Come on.
You can do it.
This is considered, say, the hardest room in the game. Roll. Got him. Okay, I'm past that guy. I'm going to do this guy differently. I'm going to slam him. There we go. That's immediately knocked him out. It's a little bit slower to slam him, but it's safer. We're through. Whew. We got there in the end.
Hey.
Hooray!
Oh, dear. So, yeah, very, very tricky reading that one. We are now on our way to the fight against the end. So we've just got a couple of rooms of just jungle just to get through. There's nothing overly fascinating. So, yeah, any messages now would be a good one to go for.
Wonderful. So I did want to remind people about sort of this, like I mentioned it before, the 2-for-1 deal that we got going on right now. So we have the bonus epilogue levels for World of Goo coming up with Satan herself. That is a target of $200. Chat, you've already raised so much money for LinearC this morning, and I know we can hit that. So speaking of that 2-for-1, we have the new milestone. So if we get $1,500 by the end of Frogan Encore, then we will play the secret lab with the Hellfridge of 4-6, which will be really fun. So make sure to get those donations in. Also, we do have a bid war currently tied for Beastie Ball. So that is for the starter for Beastie Ball. And hey, you know what happened last time when we had a tied bid war? That was very tight. So make sure you get those donations in so you can decide which starter we have.
All right, so we are now into the fight against the end. He always starts in the same position, which is up there. You may notice that I've got an arrow sticking out of my leg. That was left behind by the fear. We deliberately leave it in Snake's leg because it causes the end to start in a prone position rather than in a lying down position. Going to throw a smoke grenade over here because right now I'm manipulating the end. The end has run off. into his own special place. But if you've not interacted with him for a short time and then make some noise, you can see his sniper snope is glinting over there. He teleports to one of his sniping positions and will shoot you. That's why we threw the smoke grenade, so he wouldn't shoot. 1, 2, spray. 1, 2, and I'll hold him up. I actually threw a smoke grenade instead of a stun grenade. I should be okay. Wait for him to drop his gun. Cigar spray again. And up. And we're just trying to keep him here in this one place. Spray. Throw a smoke grenade at his face. Make sure it hits him. Again, look up. And then cigar spray. And now all I've got to do is just run ahead a little bit because he's going to be invincible for a short time. And cigar spray. And a couple of hits. And that is the end. So yeah, if you've played this game casually, you will know how much of a horrible fight the end is. There's 3 different rooms that he can appear in. And he will appear in all of them, and you go hunt him down, and it's a fight that can take hours. But we have this method of manipulating him and then just keeping him in that one spot and just finding different ways of chaining him so he doesn't run away. But we now come to one of the most special parts of the run. This is the Snake Eater Tunnel, the ladder climb, where are we gonna have a sing song?
Oh, are we? Would you
I don't
like
know.
to?
It's completely up to you. You're the singer.
Oh, that's true. Should I have started already?
It kicks in about now.
Okay, give me 2 seconds and I can do that for you. Oh, there it is. Isn't that so pretty? I'm sorry, I wasn't ready. My bad. It's my fault. Oh, I don't have my my recording ready. I'm so sorry. That's my bad.
Oh no.
Oh, wait, hold up. I think I have it somewhere. Wait, I think I got it. Well, I can just do it with this. Here we go. In my time, there'll be no one else. There we go. Crime is the way I fly to you. I'm still in a dream, snake eater. There it is. Still in a dream, snake eater.
That was amazing.
Oh, thanks.
That was beautiful. I loved that.
I was very tempted to try to do background vocals on that, but
Oh, you know what? Maybe next time. Maybe next time.
Yep.
All right. Thank you. That was a lot of fun.
That
Hey,
was
maybe
beautiful.
donate with the snake eater line. I'll sing it for you.
So we now move into the mountains. We're kind of on to Act 2 of the run, sort of. I was a little too far over to the left there. So we'll do that again. So we now have one thing I haven't talked about, and it's just something that OGHappyDude asked earlier. Is I've now got the animals camo on. The animals camo is awarded to the player for defeating ocelots non-lethally, which I did, but we're on a new game plus anyway, so I have it in my inventory. I didn't have to go and pick it up. Okay. I got spotted again. That's weird. Doesn't usually happen in this room, but we'll keep going. And the animals camo, as well as being very, very useful in the mountains, which we are here. It also stops Snake's hands from trembling when he has no stamina. You may notice that my stamina gauge, which is the lower of the two gauges in the top left, is currently very, very low. In fact, almost zero, you would say. And the main things that happen with that is that Snake's stomach will start to grumble. I should be able to just run straight to the exit now. Snake's stomach will start to grumble, but also his hands will shake. Whenever we go into first person, Snake will you just won't be able to aim at all. Thankfully, with the animals camo, we can completely ignore all of that shaking. Coming in here into Mountains 2, going to you can do a quick headshot on, you can do a box headshot on that guy, but it's a little tricky, so we're just going to play that one a little bit safer. Roll up here, roll up here. There's gonna be another guy over here. Nothing special with that guy. We just take him out with a normal headshot. Sometimes you do just have to aim with a headshot. And then up this side of the mountain. And again, here is where you really start to see the power of the cardboard box. We're going to use the box here to do a CQC slam. And back in the box again, because we want to be going, nice and fast. And here we're going to use the box to gain the attention of that guy. He's going to start moving over. And I'm going to shoot these two barrels as he drops down, killing both of those guards. However, not that it matters so much for this run, but one thing with the game is we always try not to kill anyone, because the top rank in the game requires you to have 0 kills. So if you can do that, it's more ideal. However, shooting that barrel, killing those two guys, does not count as a kill for Snake, because it's an environmental kill. The barrel explosion killed them. It doesn't matter that Snake shot the gun. It doesn't count. So anytime where the environment takes over, doesn't count as a kill. So those guys are fine, according to the game. The game doesn't recognize them as dead. I'm going to do a quick jump across there, get past that guard. Perfect, that's lovely. That's another quite tricky room to make sure that you get through that without any guards spotting you. And then Snake is going to meet up with Eva. We are going to look out over Groznygrad. This is the giant fortress that we are going to be infiltrating shortly. When it comes, there it is. That is Groznygrad. That is our destination. We're just going to run away from it. Run back through the ruins, which you get to see inside the ruins. There's a lovely hot, steamy... Well, I say hot, steamy love scene. They didn't actually do anything. It was all very insinuated and suggestive. The very early starts of their relationship. Roll down here. Eva gave us a key to get through this door. And this is the underground tunnel that's going to get us into Groznygrad. But there is something in our way before we can get down there. This barrier, which I have now succeeded in getting past. Because I'm talking about the Fury. The Fury is our next boss fight. He has a big flamethrower. Thankfully, we have a flame-proof cardboard box. And this is one of the most hated bosses in the game. It can be a bit RNG. And we don't have a lot of health. It will not take long for the Fury to take me out. He has some great lines, though. And he's going to land right in front of me. And he's going to kill me. Lovely.
Well,
so yeah, that's just how it is sometimes. So now on every subsequent turn, he will now always appear here. So I'm going to use the Mosing the gun, shoot him 3 times. He's doing this. Perfect. So we're going to interrupt that. Shoot him 3 times. And he's doing it again. This is perfect RNG. There we go. Second time. Perfect RNG.
That was amazing.
You always hope it can happen first try, but when it happens in only 2 times like that, you take those. You take those and you hold on to them.
So I happen to have a question based on guard movement. Mm-hmm. Is every single guard, like, when you go into a new room with guards in it, it appears that they're all on the, like, a global timer for movement?
Yes. Yes, every single guard in every single room starts on a global timer that starts when you enter the room. So whenever you do a room, if you make a mistake, you just restart the room and it will always start exactly the same way. Like this room, I'm going to have to restart this room. So I was too slow in taking that guard out. We need a quick headshot on that guard. And now, if you remember, I talked about priority of guards. Guards take priority on what they're interested in. That's better. In this instance, a downed guard on the floor is more of a priority than Snake running around in a cardboard box. So at that point, every single guard in the room doesn't care about the fact that there is a cardboard box running around. They care about Snake getting out of the box right as I'm about to go through the door. I should just go through it in the box. Oh, that's going to be too slow. Oh, that wasn't too slow. Phew. That only works that quickly because the guard wasn't looking at him. If the guard was looking at him as I did that, smoke grenades. There we go. If the guard was looking at him, I'd immediately get a caution, which is why that'd be too slow. Interestingly, in this one, I'm going to throw a smoke grenade here. I'm going to swap to a lethal gun. In the smoke, I'm going to shoot a guard. Put my cardboard box on. Yes, I've done this correctly. And this is going to cause Rykov here, who looks very much like Raiden from Metal Gear Solid 2, to try and run towards an alarm. Our goal here is to take Rykov here into a locker room, knock him out, steal his clothes, and that's how we're going to infiltrate the lab on the other side of the building. And that is the fastest way of getting him into that position and grabbing him. So that's Rykov. So now we can put on the mask of Rykov that Eva gave us. There he is. And his uniform, which we've just stolen from him. And we can move on. Now,
so it is assumed that you shoved Rykov into a locker.
That is correct.
Okay.
One more power of the cardboard box. It allows you to completely break the game.
What?
So that is called the box glide. Was that a bit fast? If that was a bit fast. If that was a bit fast, I'm sorry. That happens so quickly. So I'll tell you what. We'll do it one more time. Whoops. Oh,
Great.
If I can get in the right position.
Oh, beautiful.
Those two guards shouldn't spot me like that. But luckily it's fine. They'll move back into position and we're good.
Who knew Snake had the zoomies?
That's the box glide. There's a couple of other places in the game where it could work, but those are the only two places where it's actually any use. And if you kind of screw it up on the second one where you bump into those guards like that, it wasn't worth the time. This is a really, really horrible bit of the game. I've muted my own game audio here, which I always do and I always recommend you do for this section. This is an unskippable cutscene where Sokolov is being tortured, and then Snake is being tortured. We are seeing this from Snake's first-person perspective. He just has a black bag over his head. Very, very nasty, horrible noises. I can hear it, but I don't like to subject people watching a marathon to it because it's not pleasant. So yeah, it's unskippable. So we could just chat. We can just chat whilst they have a nice tickle fight. I'm just going to tell you they're having a tickle fight. He says he's dead. He's not. It's a joke.
He's just kidding.
Yeah, he is actually. The guy who said, "I guess he's dead," isn't dead. He reappears in the next game.
Oh, perfect. Well, I do have a quick update. An update that our bid war is still tied for Beastie Ball. If you would like to get that starter decided, please get those donations in. We'd love to have those. And as a reminder, we have a 2-for-1 deal going on right now with that new target for the bonus epilogue levels and the milestone for the secret lab. Make sure you get those donations in. Chat, you're doing wonderfully. You are extra cute on this Friday. So looking forward to seeing all those donations coming in during this fabulous run we've got so far.
I just punched the air and punched my microphone. That's great.
Love that.
So when we come out of this, we will be in prison. I will escape from prison using close-up magic, sleight of hand. No, kidding. I'm going to make Snake throw up and trick the guard into letting us out. which is coming up. So I better unmute the game audio and start skipping through this cutscene. So we're going to skip through the cutscenes, and we are into the room. We're going to grab this fork. We're going to kick and kill this rat that's on the floor. We've got a fake death pill in our leg and a transmitter in our shoulder. And I'm going to make Snake spin around 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times. And that will cause him to throw up. Because I've thrown up, I'll grab the fake death pill, grab the rats that I killed. Because I threw up, the guard here, Johnny, has opened the door to see what's wrong. He's like, "Oh, are you sick? I need to come and help." But we've tricked him. I'm going to shuffle him down, grab the smoke grenades that he's carrying because I'm going to need those, and now grab the rat that I picked up. And that is how you escape from prison, just like that.
Perfect.
I'm going to throw this rat to distract some guards, and then once again using the cooker grenade, and it will hide your footsteps, run straight past those guards. So our objective right now is just to escape Groznygrad. We need to meet back up with Eva again. She's got all of our equipment because she's a double agent. She's also she's working on the inside as well, so she's got all of our equipment. So we need to escape, get all of our equipment back, and then we can come back in and finish the job. Snake has now lost an eye as well during one of those cutscenes. He got shot in the eye. So from now on, keep an eye every time. Keep an eye. That wasn't deliberate. Every time I go into first-person view, if you look either on the left or the right, whichever eye has been shot out, I think it's his right eye. You'll notice that there's a bit of a sort of blur around the edge of the screen, and that is to simulate the fact that Snake's lost an eye. So he's lost his peripheral vision. We don't get it in this game because it's just a normal, everyday video game, but this game has already been remade once. You may be excited that we're getting a remake of this game in August. Woo! Oh, I'm excited. But this game has already been remade once before, and it was remade for the Nintendo 3DS. Yes. Really packaged down. It uses the same engine as Peace Walker on the PSP. And of course, because it's on the 3DS, it has full 3D modes. You play the game in 3D. Except once Snake loses his eye, whenever you go into any sort of aiming mode, you have first person and third person aiming in Snake Eater 3D. Once Snake loses his eye, the 3D functionality is switched off, because that simulates the fact that Snake has lost his depth perception. So all 3D stuff when aiming in that version is lost, which is I just think it's such a lovely way of simulating that in a video game. It's fantastic, and it doesn't work in any other version of the game.
And if you like your frames per second, by all means, it's a game worth watching.
It's logged at 12 FPS. 12? It's awful. Oh, I've been speedrunning it recently, and it's awful. We just met the Sorrow. We're gonna wake up now. The Sorrow is already dead. He's a boss that died long time ago, but his spirit is sort of still hanging around. So we have this little boss fight with him, and all we got to do is die. We just drown and immediately use a revival pill. If you keep going all the way down the river towards him, eventually you get to the end of his area, and you are rewarded with his camo for doing so. But we don't need to do it in a speed run. It's not important. Thankfully, the only speed run you need to do it for is if you're doing an all camos speed run. We are just going to make our way over to the waterfall here to meet up with Eva, and we can get into sort of the final act of the run. So Eva's got all of our equipment. We've got all of our equipment back, including a nice handy eye patch. So Snake looks a little more dignified instead of just an empty eye socket, which isn't a pleasant look by any means. But we are making our way back through another tunnel towards Groznygrad. We've got another cardboard box to pick up. And we're going to see one more use of the cardboard box. Don't worry, the box isn't done yet. And we have our last little bit of stuff to do. We've equipped the Orscam camo because the Orscam camo will reduce damage to Snake by 1/3, which is very important as we see out the rest of the game. I want stun grenades, put those away, C3, and that should be it. So we've got all of our equipment, and that's it. We've done equipment and camo for the rest of the game now. We shouldn't need to go back into the weapon or item menu. We talked about priority earlier and the cardboard box trick with the guards. We're going to do exactly the same in this room. I'm going to run up to here, cause that guard to go over there. I'm going to shoot that guard. And now every single guard cares more about the guard on the floor. I go to every single guard in the room. They're all on. In Metal Gear Solid 4, there's a mechanic called SOP where every single guard is like in sync. But that exists in 3. It's just not mentioned because it's just part of the guard's AI. Cardboard box, we get in the back of the truck, and that teleports us to here into the main science wing, and we come across the Shagohod. That's the Shagohod over there. First thing I'm going to do in here is I'm going to shoot. That is going to cause every guard in the room, all on the same pattern. They are all going to run to where they heard that shot and get out of my way, which is really nice. So they're all going to run over there. I'm just going to stay in this box. The engineers that are around, they don't care about Snake in a box. They just see a box running around as like, it's not our problem. So we can just run past them. And right now we're placing C3 onto these power generators. These are what are charging up the Shagohod. And hopefully by blowing these up, that's it. It will stop the Shagohod. Mission over, except we get found doing it, and we've got our next boss fight. This is the boss fight against Colonel Volgin, our main antagonist of the game. So I'm going to grab him in the CQC grab, throw him to the floor, and now I'm going to pelt him with bullets. Run around behind him, clock him in the head. Phase 1 is done. We go into phase 2, roll forwards, wait for his first attack, and then once again pepper him with bullets. Wait, pepper him with more. Oh, there we go. I had to quickly switch guns at the end there, but that was fine. Cool. So unfortunately that's not the end of Volgin. And also, we're not successful in powering up the Shagohod. In preventing the power up of the Shagohod. So it's now on the move. We go into the bike chase section, and for the most of this, it's just on rails. We're just trying to take as little damage as possible, but also trying to do as much damage to the Shagohod as possible. This isn't the Shagohod's boss fight. We will have a boss fight against the Shagohod later, but the more damage we can do to it, in these sections, you'll see that his health bar is very, very slowly decreasing. The more damage I can do to it now, the less health it will have in the actual fight later on. So just a lot of blasting. Happy dude. What?
Yes.
What are your thoughts?
Well, up until now, I thought that the Ava and Shagohod life bars were flipped, so I thought the Shagohod was regaining health. It seems like, deal damage now so you don't have to deal a lot of damage to it later is just kind of par for the course for Metal Gear, if I remember correctly. It's not the first time, nor the last time you're essentially dealing with the final boss twice.
We do a lot of bosses multiple times. I think MGS 3 might be the only game in the series, though, where there is a deal damage to the boss now, and he'll have less damage later. And it is only those 2 fights. Not shoot whilst he's quite so close. We don't want to take too much damage from him. This is
You can heal up.
We move on to the second room of the bike chase. The bike chase is split into two halves. We'll sort of do the first half, we'll then fight the Shagahod, and then we'll do the second half as we now then try and escape. We do still have one more objective, though. Russia, this is a Russian splinter group, and Russia is not very happy with America because a research facility got blown up at the end of the prologue. And in response, so that Russia knows that America is back on their side, they want us to kill the boss. So we also have to kill the boss. Thankfully, it's a boss fight right at the end of the game. So we'll be doing that anyway. Take out all of these guards. That little bit there wasn't on rails. We have to take out those guards as quickly as possible. That is a keratin frog. Those are the little dudes that we could have been shooting.
Froggy. There, you get the one.
Yay!
Excuse me. Take that guard out because he's got a rocket launcher and we do not want to take damage from him. There's going to be one other rocket launcher guards, which I must take out, which is that guard there. He's taken care of. Swap to the Mark 22. Excuse me. We're now moving to the second runway section. And in this section, the best thing that we can do, and which I'm doing very successfully, is just taking out the sidecar. There we go. And we just leave us with these four. The best thing to do here is to just take out the sidecar guys, because if you take out the whole bike, the bikes will respawn. They'll come back and you'll have to shoot them again. And if by just taking out the sidecar guys, A, they don't respawn, and B, the drivers are A, lousy shots because they're trying to drive at the same time, but B, they only have pistols, whereas the sidecar drivers have submachine guns. So in this case, it's much better to just take out those guys and now just leave it. Sit back, relax, enjoy the scenery. If we were on the PS2 or the PS3, our entire scene would be this, to try and reduce frame lag as much as possible. Luckily, we're on the nice Master Collection on PC, so there's no frame dips whatsoever. It's lovely. This game became so much more accessible when the Master Collection came out. But now we have work to do. The Shagahod is back, and this is our main opportunity to get as much damage done to it as possible before the fight. And for doing this, we do a thing called quick reload. It is actually an intended mechanic in the game. It's mentioned in the instruction manual. If I weren't double-clicking the weapon equip unequip button at this point, there'd be a very, very long reload animation. But the game manual actually recommends quick reloading. You can use it with any weapon. You just have to keep holding certain buttons to make sure that you don't go out of first person. Unfortunately, the Shagahod's kind of gone to the back there because I hit it in the wrong place. I'm going to keep shooting and try and get as much done as possible. It's a lot of clicking over and over and over and over. It also prevents the Shagahod from attacking us, which is nice. And we just sort of get Volgin's overlapping dialogue. There we go. Oh, that's a number on the arm, that one. Our intention here, the rail bridge, is there's 4 C3 charges on the bridge. We're going to destroy 3 out of 4 of them. Leaving 1 left, which is there. And what we want is the Shagahod to be in the middle of the bridge, blow the bridge, it'll sink down into the river. Mission complete, right? Luckily in third-person view, Snake's aim is perfect. The Shagahod breaks in 2, and we now just have to fight the top half of it. There's a loop that I'm going to be trying to get. Take my first shot there, it's a good start. Wait for Eva's bike to squeal. Shoot. And shoot those. 1, 2, 3. This is good. So I now need to... I can get 2 shots off because it has iframes. 2. There we go. We're doing well. So it has iframes. I can get 2 shots off before I need to shoot the tread again. But the treads won't... You can't just shoot the tread again. You have to shoot it at the right time. And it's very weird how this works. Excellent. Now, if Eva could just stay still. Thank you, Eva. Lovely. That's a great phase 1. Phase 2, much quicker. We shoot the tread. Volgin is now controlling it. He has lightning hands. And we're just going to swap between these two. Shoot the tread, shoot Volgin in the head, shoot the tread, 1 more shot in the head, and that is both Volgin and the Shagohod now defeated. Volgin will definitely not come back from the dead in Metal Gear Solid 5. Whoops, spoilers.
No!
It's, yeah. It's kind of the tagline of Metal Gear Solid 3. No one's ever really dead.
No, we just retconned the other 3 games that existed before it.
It's, yeah. It's an interesting series. It's the thing that I've always loved about Metal Gear. We'll take all those cards out. That was lovely. Is it whilst it's all very much based around, you know, war, politics. Particularly this game is set in the Cold War, and it's all very sort of serious nuclear weapons and all of that. It doesn't take itself seriously at all. It knows that it's an extremely goofy game. And it's the thing that I love about it. It's such a wonderful story. You couldn't get away with these bosses. You couldn't get away with a guy who fires bees out of his mouth if you took yourself too seriously.
Well, I mean, technically you could, but...
But why would you do that?
Why would you? You don't want to do that. You want to be silly and have a fun time. And that's what this game is. A silly fun time. It's a great series to get into if you're looking to get into speedrunning. Personally, I wouldn't start with 3, unless if you really like 3, then obviously start with 3. But 1 and 2 are a little easier to get into at first. The Master Collection has made these games so much more accessible. One of these guys has got a rocket launcher, so I want to make sure I take him out. Good. Oh, I didn't take him out. I actually missed him. That's okay. I've got plenty of health.
And for obvious reasons, don't start out with European Extreme, please.
I wouldn't recommend starting with European Extreme.
Unless you don't like yourself, and then by all means, go for it.
No, like a lot of other games most games in the series, and I know a lot of other speed games sort of do this. The most contested categories for most games in the Metal Gear series are European Extreme or Extreme in the games that don't have them, and very easy. You either want to run the fastest version or the hardest version. And it took me a while to get into European Extreme. But it's so much fun. It's very easy. Difficulty on this game is ridiculously easy. You get given a gun which gives you a constant 80% camo rating, and you don't need stamina. You don't need health. Your health bar is as big as your stamina bar. It's insane. It's so easy. I am actually very low on health here. I'm a bit concerned. I do have some life points.
And even if you're playing through and you realize that you're playing a game a particular way and you want to speedrun it that particular way, I'm a strong believer of not being confined by any leaderboards, to where if you want to play a game and put a timer to it your own particular way, by all means go for it.
That was a little close with the log. It is actually 1/10 of a second faster to get hit by the log. But we're on European Extreme, so we ain't doing it. This is the last bike chase room. So we've got to take care of these guards. I'm hoping I don't have to go into my inventory and get my life meds out. Should be okay now. So, this is it. We're just using the Mark 22. It's much easier to shoot them with the tranquilizer because it's an instant put to sleep, as you can see. So again, all of these, none of these are counted as deaths. Even if the bike crashes into the river or whatever, these are not counted as deaths. These are all accidental or environmental kills, or the ones that I shoot, I'm putting to sleep. So the hardest run for this game is the difficulty that I'm doing right now, but getting what's called a Foxhound rank. At the end of the game, you're given a rank. And every single game has a top rank, which is usually Big Boss. But in Metal Gear Solid 3, it's called Foxhound because we're already Big Boss. The character we're playing as, Naked Snake, eventually becomes Big Boss. And Foxhound rank requires you to have 0 continues, 0 saves, beat the game in under 3 hours, I think. 0 kills, and you're not allowed to use any life medicine. So yeah, it's a tricky one. My best so far, I PB'd last night with 12 continues. So that's the closest I've ever gotten. One day, I'm sure I'll do it. That's it, we're done with the bike chase.
Hooray! Do you have time for a quick update?
Go for it.
Wonderful. So I did want to let you know that about that new bonus that we have going on, the target for our $200 to get our new bonus epilogue levels with World of Goo. So if met, Satan will perform a bonus run of the epilogue levels that were skipped in the original run. More puzzles, more Satan herself. And of course, we have that milestone coming up as well, that if we meet the World of Goo, we also get our milestone. And we can help meet that with that $10 from Marksy that we have here. It says $1,500 not only to get an entire bonus stage of Frogan Encore played by the Helfridge, but also to get even more World of Goo content by the wonderful Satan herself. All for a wonderful cause. Chat, we can definitely hit the $1,500 mark by the end of Metal Gear Solid Less Than 3.
Wonderful. Yeah, please keep those donations coming in. It's so great it's always great to do, speedrun marathons. I've been doing speedrun marathons now for a little over 4 years. But there's always something special about doing it to help someone, one of our own, someone in need. So it's an absolutely great effort that everyone's put in to get this going and make so much money. So thank you. And I'm just, absolutely thrilled to be a part of it. We are closing in on the end of the game. We've got this room, one more room of escorting Eva here, where a little bit more is going to happen in the next room, and then we have our final boss, and then there's a little epilogue, but it's not much. So we escort Eva over here. We've got to be very careful. Her AI can be very janky. I have to make sure that I don't get too far away from her, or she can kind of wander off. This next room, there's quite a lot going on, so I need to take out this guy. Oh, I didn't actually hit him. Uh-oh. This is going to be a... Yeah, oh, I knew that was going to be a reset room. It's far too slow. Run it back.
While you're running it back, quick update on that starter bid war for Beastie Ball. It's still tied. You all are going to make this another tie? Really? Make sure you get those bids in. And remember, when you're making those donations, scroll down to the bottom, select your bids, select your incentives, and go ahead and get those donations in. ! Donate in chat. I've been seeing it. Thank you so much for your generous donations.
There we go. We've taken out most of the guards at the start. Got to wait for Eva. I'll give you a bit of a better look at the frogs. There's a little keratin frog.
Froggy.
That one's we call that one in my community the Freeg, because it costs absolutely no time to shoot it because we've got to wait for Eva anyway. We're going to run up to here. There's a few guards in this next room. We're going to distract the first one. So that guard here heard me kick that plant, and he's now going to go all the way around to investigate. Take out these two. I've got one more silence to use. There we go. Oh, Eva's already here. Sorry, Eva. Taking my time. Let her hop down. And all we've got to do now is get to the end of this room. There is one more guard. He's just in those bushes there. Eva, I beckoned you to follow me. See, her AI is a bit weird. She can sometimes just sort of go a bit doolally. Like, if I'm too far ahead of her, she might go all the way around the outside of these trees. That guard is so focused on his sniping position that he's not going to look at us. All we've got to do now is get her to here, and then we go into the final boss fight against the boss. There's a loop that I'm going to be doing. I'll be taking her out non-lethally. I just need to try and maintain the loop throughout. So let's do this.
Let's see what you're made of.
Sweet. Whip out the Moses and the gun. And CQC slammer to the ground. We grab a stun grenade, throw it up into the air, turn around so that we don't get blasted by it, only her. Moses and the gun, wait for her iframes. That should be enough. 2 more shots with the Moses and the gun, throw her to the ground. 1 more stun grenade. Same again. That's the last stun grenade we can do. Once she goes below half stamina, stun grenades won't work on her anymore. Oh, I got that a little bit wrong. Oh, that'll do. So once again, Moses and the gun, and slammer, and shoot in the head. Now we just need her to reset. This is intended part of the fight, because we can't now keep the chain going with another stun grenade. We have to reset her. We just do that. Moses and the gun again, and that is the fight. It's not quite time. Yeah, we now have a short, unskippable cutscene where the boss gives her final words to Snake, and we actually have to pull the trigger on killing her. The boss and Snake are they're not mother and son, but they're very, very close in that kind of way. It's a sort of master apprentice style relationship. So Snake is very upset that he's had to kill his former mentor. But whilst this cutscene plays out, I've been NickRPGreen. This has been Metal Gear Solid 3 European Extreme. I can tell you this is a PB for me as well, which is really nice.
Let's go!
GG's.
Woo! Only about 26 seconds, it only beats yesterday. I only PB'd yesterday. So yeah, this has been nice to get a marathon PB. It's been a while since I've had a marathon PB. This is nice. But you can normally catch me twitch.tv/NickRPGreen every Tuesday and Thursday from 8 p.m. UK time. You may recognize from my accent I'm British. Anywhere you want to follow me, whether it's Twitch, YouTube, Blue Sky, just search for NickRPGreen, and that is where you can find me. We're coming up to the shot. I just mash the fire button, and time will be when I make a shot with my next gun. We have this little prologue with Ocelot. All I've got to do is shoot, and as soon as I fire, that'll be time. Time.
GG's.
So yeah, that's MGS3. I'm gonna quickly make sure it moves on to past all the cutscenes, moves on to the credits. I'm gonna mute it as well because don't want you guys getting a copyright strike for this music, because that's one if you do want to speedrun Metal Gear, be prepared to mute the credits at all times. Technically the credits are part of the timing, but it's 9 minutes. I'm not going to subject anyone to that. But that's why I'm recording locally, so I've got my PB, so it's all good. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. As I said, if you want to get into this game or any other game in the Metal Gear series, just go to Google, search for Metal Gear speedrunners. You'll find the wiki, website, Discord, all there. There's loads of people to help you learn any game in the series. Happy Dude, do you want to where can folks find you?
Hello. You can find me here on Twitch as OGHappyDude. You can also find me on Blue Sky, happydude.tv. And because of Twitch and their infinite wisdom, you can find me at YouTube at OGHappyDude, uploading a buttload of Twitch VODs. Thank you, Twitch.
Woo! Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. And please keep those donations coming in for Linear. It's been a fantastic event so far. Let's keep it up over the weekend.
Thank you so much, Nick, for that wonderful run. That was a lot of fun. And man, I said it before this started, but this is one of my favorite games. This is my favorite game in the series, and it never disappoints. So thank you so much for that great run. While we are wrapping that up and getting things ready for our next run, I wanted to say that we had $5 from Professor Birch that says, if you build it, they will come. Watch the stream and donate. And that is in reference to our bid war for our starter for Beastie Ball, which now we finally aren't tied. Thank you, Professor Birch. These ties are giving me, giving me some definite heart palpitations, but Build It is now in the lead above $5. So thank you so much for that. With that, I am done for hosting for today. I will be back tomorrow, but I leave you in the unbelievable, capable hands of the wonderful Clockwork Ophelia, the diva of them all, who is going to be taking over for our next couple of runs. Chat, go be awesome with Ophelia. And for now, I will see you all later. Have a fantastic day. Stay cozy, stay hydrated, keep donating for our fabulous event for Linear. I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Stay here. I'll be back tomorrow. Bye, friends.
Hello, everyone. That was an amazing run. I am Clockwork Ophelia, and I am going to be with you for our next little block of games. I don't know about y'all, but I am super excited. We have a fantastic little indie block coming up. This schedule is absolutely amazing. I have been just on the edge of my seat this entire time because it has been put together so well. But we've got this little indie block coming up. I am just absolutely excited. We've got Frog on Encore, we've got World of Goo, we've got Cavern of Dreams, we've got Beastie Ball. Like, y'all, this is fantastic. I am so happy to be here with you. Now, I do want to talk a little bit about the things that we have right now. We've got a couple incentives, we've got a couple bid wars, but first, I kind of want to talk about why we're all here. So this is Lifeline for Linear. This is a mutual aid marathon that we're raising money for our fellow speedrunner LinearC. From Wednesday, February 18th to Sunday, February 23rd, we're excited to showcase 5 days of action-packed speedruns for her benefit. So if you want to look at more of this full schedule, this action-packed schedule, please type !schedule in chat. And if you would like to donate, type !donate in chat. all of your donations go directly towards helping LinearC. Now, I'm looking at those incentives. I'm looking at everything. We've got a couple of things. So we've got, let's see here. We've got a frog gun encore. I'm having a hard time talking because I'm very excited. Always excited to be here with y'all, but frankly, I really love our next upcoming game, and it's just absolutely fantastic. And if we meet this incentive, we get about 10 extra minutes of frog gun. So y'all, please, can we get some donations in? And keep in mind, this is actually like a milestone incentive. So you can kind of do a 2-for-1 here, because we also have a epilogue level with our World of Goo, which is coming up after that. So if you want to put in a donation towards getting the World of Goo epilogue levels, which again gives us more of our marathon, that also goes towards getting us frog gun. So, think about how that. All right, y'all, I am just looking over everything. We are almost ready. We're still setting up for our next run, but we will be coming in with that as soon as we can. Now, can I tell y'all a little bit about Linear? Because LinearC has been involved in gaming her entire life since she was a kid, and she received her first gaming console, which was meant to be a gift for Christmas, but she found it early. And in 2015, she discovered Games Done Quick, which then led her to Frame Fatales and Lady Arcader's community. She began volunteering in various roles, from hosting to community moderation, and soon became a lead for Lady Arcaders and a runner. Linear loves helping and uplifting others in her community and helping raise money for charities. So if you want to know more about how you can help her directly, you can type !LFL in the chat. And I know I have worked with Linear directly, and she's literally a fantastic person. She was so warm, and honestly, all of y'all's donations are going so far to help uplift and do wonderful things. Y'all are fantastic.